Hey guys, in this video I want to show you guys how you can warm up most efficiently for some of your matchmaking games, your FACEIT games, or whatever you play out there. Most of you are probably already familiar with this setting. It's called Aimbot. That's the map. It's a map that you can use to warm up. You can practice all the guns, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it before. If you have never tried this map before, you can download it. I'll make sure to put a link in the description. Now, as we've set up the scene, let's get to it. What I like to do is that I like to close down the entirety of the map, apart from one section like this. That means that all the bots right now around me, they'll die, and they'll all respawn right here in front of me. Now, you can warm up different ways, and I'm going to show you a few of my methods to warm up. One of them would be, first and foremost, to get it going right. You gotta run back and forth, you gotta get your feeling for it. You can see on the cam right now that I'm moving my mouse a lot. You just run around and you wanna shoot like this. You don't necessarily have to aim or anything like that, you just wanna flick back and forth so you get a feeling for the sensitivity that you're spending, right? Go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's not necessarily important that you're hitting, it's more important that you go back and forth and you're getting a feeling for moving around your mouse and flicking it back and forth, just so you get warmed up in that sense. Now when you're done with that, you can choose what weapon you want to play with. As I said before, you can play with all the weapons in CSGO. The thing I like to warm up the first is my AWP. Pick that gun. Now there's a few shooting techniques I use when I use aimbots to warm up. First and foremost, most players, they only play with single zoom, so you want to warm up the way that you're moving around with the single zoom. So, for an example, if I ever have a target right here, I try to spot in the middle of him and then flick over on him. Right? In real game scenarios, you're often going to be in positions where you don't have the crosshairs straight on them, so you'll have to flick over to the bodies. So I'm trying to regenerate that here, playing aimbot. So if I want to kill this guy, pay attention that I'll spot around here and then flick it over on him. If I want to kill this guy, for an example, I'm not going to spot on him. I'm going to zoom in over here and then I'm going to flick it over. How it looks, or how it should look if I am able to hit the shots, would be something along these lines. Sometimes you're hitting, sometimes you're not. It's all about getting warmed up. Make sure that you hit the most of the flicks. Make sure you both do it on the right side so you flick left, and you do it on the left side so you flick right. Make sure you do it both ways, otherwise you'll be one of those players that is having an easier time flicking to your left than to your right. It's like being a goalkeeper in football. You don't want to have a strong side and a weak side. You want to be versatile, and you want to be able to hit your flicks whether it's flicking to the right or flicking to the left. Simple as it is. Now that's done. Some of you guys also use the double zoom. I personally am a big fan of using the double zoom, so I will flick that as well. So what you do is that you zoom in twice, and he's almost out of your vision right here, but I need to flick it over. I need to know where my double zoom is. I need to know my sensitivity. So how it should look is that I'm going to flick it over and hit him, despite him being out of my field of view. That being said though, it can be really tough in the beginning, and you're most likely going to see me miss a lot of bullets as well. Again, as before, you want to do it on the left side and on the right side. As I said, it's super tough. If they're just outside of your field of view, you got to be able to flick it over like that. It can be super tough. But when you master it, both sides, just like that, you're going to be one hell of an AWP player in the games, I promise you. Surprisingly hitting a lot of these bullets. I'm pretty good with the double zoom, but I've been practicing this for quite some time. Now that the AWP is warmed up, you want to move over to the pistols, right? You're going to be a guard in the pistol rounds. So what you want to do is you want to find the USPS. I assume most of you guys are playing with it. Over here, there's a lot of different versions, a lot of different settings you can take. One of them is to put off the helmet of the players. So right now that it's blue, they don't have head armor. That means that if I shoot them with a USP in the head, they die instantly. If I shoot them in the stomach, it takes a lot of bullets. Now, so what you want to do is you want to run back and forth like this. Some of them are spawning with head armor. You can see the difference. Oh, that's because they're spawning like that. You want to peel it off. My bad. You want to put it off. So none of them have head armor. There we go. So what you do is you run around. You try to tap them in the head with a USP. The more you move, the better. As said before, you want to get a feeling for how it is in the real game. You want to get a feeling for how it is to play a real game of Counter-Strike. Right now, the bots are just standing still. So you moving around, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, shoot, stop and go. just like you'd do in a real match. It's easy just to stand like this, if you want to. But you want to make it harder for you. You want to incorporate some movement in it as well. Just like I was doing with the AWP, moving back and forth all the time. Now, if you want to test whether you're warmed up or not, there's a fine way of doing so. You can go back to the rifle, back to the AK-47. That's going to be the strong one. We can take the Kevlar back on these guys. And then you can do the 100 kill channels right here. What that goes out about is that you need to kill 100 of these bots as quickly as possible. You gotta have these settings on though, so the bots are 2 steps in, just like this. Now there's a different way of doing that. I'm gonna show you 2 different approaches, 2 different ways of doing it. One of them is moving back and forth, constantly be moving and spraying and bursting, and one of them it would be standing still and just use your aim, just use your wrist, as you can see on the screen right now. Let's start out with the one where I move back and forth, and let's see how quick I can get 100 kills. Let's go. 47 seconds. That is a really quick time, even for a guy like me. Normally I don't do it that quick. Now there's also another way of doing it. You can just restart it just like this, and that is by standing still. If you're standing still, you are not allowed to move. You stand in the middle right here, go in between these ones, and you only, go in between like this, keep distance of course, and you're only allowed to aim back between the heads like this. What that would look like is something like this. See if you can do a quick time and potentially see if you can beat me. 45.6 seconds. Even for a player like me, that's a super good time. So I challenge you guys to see if you can do it better. This was a little video about how we can warm up. When I hit a time like this, I feel ready to go into the game. I feel ready to establish a global elite gameplay. If you guys want to try some of the same, you can do this by this video. Again, make sure to use the correct techniques. Whether you want to burst, run around like this, more like a real game scenario, or if you just want to stand still and make sure your aim is precise, straight in the heads like this. It's up to you, but I wish you the best of luck with the practice.